Welcome back to the Next Level Contractor, the channel that helps aspiring and new contractors go from 0 to 5 million plus in revenue without becoming just another failed statistic. I'm your host, Michael Bourgeois, and every episode we break down the real journey of building a successful contracting business, tackling the obstacles, strategies, and insider tips that will get you to the top faster and smarter. If you're ready to level up your business, let's get into it. Today, we have a special guest with us, and we're talking about something a little bit different than becoming a
Yeah.
contractor, but still very relevant and a very lucrative career path in the construction industry. So, with us, we have Mr. Jeff Shanley today, and Jeff is an awesome guy. Thanks for being with us, Jeff. He has
Hey,
got a ton of experience in every facet of construction. He's been a building inspector, he's been an overseas contractor, and also what we're talking about today, which is a home inspector qualification course that Jeff is going to be instructing and putting on, and we're super excited to promote this today. So welcome, Jeff, and thank you so much for being here.
Michael, it's good to see you too. Again.
Again, that's right. Yeah. So I'm pumped about today because I've always been curious about this, uh, home inspector as a career path in construction. So what all is involved in becoming a home inspector? Why would someone want to be a home inspector?
Yeah. Well, you know what? There is a lot. It's really interesting because a lot of people want to get into the construction industry. And especially today, the trades are picking up tremendously as far as education and so forth. You go to call anybody, and it's hard to get somebody who knows something. And so, with that being said, the state of Florida decided several years ago that they were going to license home inspectors. And that is a great entry level into the construction industry because most of us, or a lot of us, we've had homes, we've worked on homes. I've instructed people from firemen to meter readers to business owners to general contractors, because it doesn't matter. Even if you have a state license for any of the trades, and a lot of people think that a home inspector is a general contractor. No, that's not it. No, a home inspector has to be individually licensed in the state of Florida. Yeah. So it's a great lead in into the construction industry. And it's something that I've been teaching for a number of years. I enjoy it because it's like a fresh view. You understand what I'm saying? It's a new start. It's a new start. You don't have to have like 4 years of experience and noted. You don't have to have any of that. You can come from any walk of life and become a home inspector once you have the training and the mentorship and so forth.
So with becoming a home inspector, different from a contractor, to become a contractor, you either need a degree in whatever field of construction you're trying to get licensed, plus a number of years of experience as a project manager or a foreman on with a construction company that holds the license that you're trying to get. Plus, there's going to be, you have to take the business exam for whatever state, and I guess with certain degrees you can avoid the trade exam. But I mean, there's so much involved with becoming a licensed contractor. Uh,
Yes.
what's what's the difference between trying to become a licensed contractor and trying to become a home inspector, and what's the difference between home inspectors and building inspectors?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the difference between a home inspector and a building inspector, I'll address that first. A building inspector is designated as a building inspector, I'm designated to review the plans, review the specs, go through the construction process, uh, and according to the code, the Florida Building Code. And the Florida Building Code, you see, is a minimum standard in the state of Florida. So as a building inspector, I'm going in and I'm making sure, A, that everything is assembled according to the minimum standard. And then I'm also there to support the engineer and the architect in their decisions to make that building better, and making sure that all of those disciplines are taken care of according to the vision of the architect and the engineer. That's sort of a big explanation of a building inspector. A home inspector is not there to enforce the code. It's basically the home inspector is going in with the suggestions of what needs to be done to bring that house to a safe level, to a safe understanding, to
So like
a
sort of promoting a minimum standard for the condition of the home, like
it is,
identifying.
because you have plumbing, electrical, carpentry, mechanical. I'm going to go through all of those things, but with the home inspector, you're there for 2 to 3 hours going through all of these disciplines, making sure it's working okay, checking the serial numbers, checking dates. And the building inspector can enforce a code. As a building inspector, I can go in and I can enforce a code. Heaven forbid I have to stop a job. That's what I have to do. A home inspector is like an arm's length transaction. They're reviewing the whole home, giving that inspection report back to the person who's bought the inspection, so they can make the proper decision of what needs to be done to the home or homes before they even sign on the dotted line. So it's a very valuable position to have. I mean, mind you, it pays great, but you're there to help the buyer. You're there to protect the buyer. And you're there to protect the buyer, because that inspection ends up in the underwriter's hands. That inspection ends up in the insurance company's hands. That inspection ends up in a few different places. So you really got to go in and know your stuff and review all of these different disciplines. And that's what we're going to go through with everybody.
And I would say it's probably a pretty in-demand position, especially when, when the market's hot and people are selling and buying a lot of residential real estate. I mean, I've bought, I've bought a few homes, right? And I know the federally backed loans, FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, I guess.
VA.
Right. Those probably a lot, even more so than any residential home loan, I think requires a home inspection, right? In order for the underwriter to approve a mortgage.
Yeah, if there's going to be a mortgage, yeah, you're right. It requires an inspection. I know, a lot of people that are investors or so forth, they'll forego the home inspection because they're paying cash.
Right.
Most homes have a mortgage with them, so they have to have a home inspection.
That's right. Right. So it seems like it's a pretty secure position.
It is.
And, every time I've ever dealt with a home inspector as a home buyer, right? Every time I've ever dealt with a home inspector, I've dealt with the inspector. I've talked directly to the inspector, which tells me that the home inspector has a lot of authority and a lot of freedom over their position, right? It's like they own their job.
They do.
And it's almost like they can pick and choose their calendar and when they want to work and when they don't. I always thought it was a really cool opportunity, or sounded like a really cool opportunity to have to make great money and have a lot of freedom. Am I
Yeah.
reading it wrong, or?
No, you're not reading it wrong. Everything you're going to get out of something, what you put into it. So if you want freedom, I've had people come through class that are heading towards retirement, and this is the career that they want to choose. I've had people coming to class that were HUD inspectors and wanted to get their home inspector's license. I've had people come to class that are in the insurance industry and coming to get the home inspector's license. And then again, I've had artists, pilots, and everybody who, they want to get their home inspector's license because there is that flexibility. There's that flexibility of, you're making 300 to 700 to thousands on a home inspection, depending on the size of the house. Right.
Wow.
And mind you, you're there. Welcome to Florida. There's just so much that can go wrong.
Sure.
You're there to find all of these details, and you're protecting the buyer, and you also get a pretty flexible schedule. Now, a lot of people will get their home inspector's license and they'll go to a home inspection company in their area and almost serve like an apprenticeship just to get familiar with the area.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And how the business functions as a business, right? Not how to perform the inspection necessarily, but how to just to sort of see the infrastructure of what having a home inspection business looks like.
Yeah. I mean, can you leave this class and start home inspection? Absolutely. But, it's depends on the person's experience level. It depends on the person's experience level.
So what you're saying is, I mean, it would be worth it if you just wanted to pick up a part-time income. This would be a really lucrative part-time income. You said hundreds to $1,000 per inspection. And if you're doing something else part-time or full-time already, you wouldn't necessarily have to walk away from that because you could schedule the inspections around your current schedule and possibly pick up an extra $1,000 a week with one inspection.
Or you can do it full-time and make, a lot of money.
Sure.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
It really is. You're in the relationship business as a home inspector too. It's not just, I'm going to teach you what to find and what to look for. I'm going to give you a little bit about business, but it's going to be up to the individual to go, for the long game.
I see.
If they want that.
So we're talking about cultivating relationships with, I guess, with lenders, right? Isn't that who orders
realtors, lenders? Everybody is your customer. That's the beauty about
literally everybody, right? Sure. Anybody involved in a customer. Real estate transaction is your customer.
Even beyond that, it's I've been out with friends watching football, and they find out that I do home inspection, and they're like, well, we trust you. Will you do our home inspection for us? There's no real estate transaction that I'm part of. It happens all the time. You're really, you're in the people business too. So yeah, there's some networking and so forth that needs to be done to build your business. That's all the fun stuff.
Sure. Yeah. There's no escaping that everyone's in the people business, right? I mean, if you want to be in business, you're in the people business, period. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I've always found it to be, really interesting. It's kind of an intriguing profession to get into. And I never knew what all was involved in becoming a home inspector. I just knew that it seemed like in the construction business, it was, there are way harder things in the construction business than being a home inspector. But they still, I mean, I know what I paid for every home inspection. So yeah, I mean, so in my mind, I'm like, man, that is a gig right there. Like
It's a
that is,
great gig.
yeah, that is like, that's the move to make. If you're not going to be physically doing the construction work, but you want to benefit from all of the lucrative opportunities in construction. Home inspection is for sure a great direction to go. What is it? What is this course? What does it take to be a home inspector?
What's it? According to the state of Florida, you have to go through 120 hours of class time. 120 hours of class time. Once you finish that 120 hours, you're eligible to take the state exam. So what we've done is we've set this up to be easier for you, because what it is you can join on Zoom, do the 120 hours, and we're going to do it a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it'll be 4 weekends of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I want to be clear, this is not just turning on the camera and listening. The state mandates that we are teaching you. We see you. You're communicating. You're asking questions. I'm delivering them back. And for that 120 hours, once you're complete, you'll be prepared to take the state test, which you can do online. Now, in that, what are you going to learn? Well, you're going to learn exteriors, what to look for in exteriors for Florida-specific houses, all the way. Listen, I'm teaching you stuff for the whole country, not just Florida. This will be your Florida license, but the exteriors, interiors, your mechanical, your electrical, your plumbing, your landscaping, drainage, roofing. Oh my gosh, there's just so many things to go through, and they're interesting things. And it's really funny. You know what I hear a lot, Michael?
What's that?
Usually about the second week, the students are saying that they're inspecting their houses, they're inspecting their families' houses.
They're finding little things wrong.
They're finding things that they thought were normal, and they're not. But yeah, it's 120 hours. So it would be 4 weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That seems manageable. When you said 120 hours, I was thinking, so what are we talking? Like somebody's got to take off work for 3 weeks, and do 3 40-hour weeks, and then they're a home inspector. But no, weekend classes online. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, a lot of courses, here's what they do. A lot of people want to become home inspectors. And, there's associations out there like InterNACHI. InterNACHI is a home inspection association. And you can literally spend thousands of dollars to become a home inspector. I mean, but the way we've set this up is instead of doing it online through watching PowerPoints, answering questions.
Right.
That's usually how it works. You're not forced into like passing a test for every quadrant, like what you would do
like
in
a PowerPoint presentation courses. And then a quiz, and a PowerPoint, and then a quiz,
and then a quiz.
Right.
And a lot of them, a lot of these companies, that's what they do. You're basically watching something for 120 hours and taking quizzes. And if you pass all the quizzes, you can take the state exam. With
So no
this,
one, no instructor or anything, no one to really ask questions except for
no.
maybe you can send an email and someone will answer in a reasonable amount of time. Maybe that's it, that kind of a thing.
Yeah. Well, what it is like a correspondent.
Right.
Yeah. And I've had students that have come to me that I've met and they've said, "Oh my gosh, I've been through like 10 months of watching videos and passing tests and I just give up."
Ooh.
And I look at them and I say, "That's because you're not familiar with the right course to take. You can come to us, have live instruction for 120 hours. I'm not giving you a test after every quadrant, but I'm setting you up to pass the exam. Literally, I'm setting you up to pass this 2-hour exam, 100 questions in 2 hours. And when you're done, you're pretty much set up to take that exam. And you want to hear something else?
What's that?
It's an open book exam. It's an open book exam."
Which is awesome. Now, for folks that have not taken open book exams, that probably sounds like it's going to be so easy. It's open book for a reason. Let me tell you that. I'm sure. I mean, I haven't taken the home inspector exam, but I've taken some. I'm a certified contractor, and I've taken some exams that are open book, and they are challenging. So, this is being put on by one exam prep, right?
Yeah, one exam prep will put it on. And we also added another little feature to this too. And this has all gone through the state of Florida. It's been approved by the state of Florida. We submitted the curriculum. We've submitted the program. We have the approval. We've also have a 1 day of the 120 hours down in Weston, Florida, in Broward County. There's a large warehouse, industrial warehouse, and inside this warehouse there's a house. And the house is called House of Horrors, and it's sponsored by Internachi. So what we've done is we've teamed up with them so that if you're in the south of Orlando area, you want to just shoot on down to Orlando, and they do it all the time. Spend a day there, and I'm taking you through all of these sections of the house, from the trusses to under the house, to the ductwork, to the electrical, to the plumbing, gas, swimming pools. It's all in this house that's built inside a warehouse full of mistakes.
So it's a giant warehouse that someone has built poorly, a house.
Yes,
right? They've just
in the
done
giant warehouse is this
intentionally bad building construction.
Yeah. Is
for
it
display.
safe for you to be in? Yes, it's safe for you to be in. But there's actually all kinds of problems. We have electrical panels. We have air conditioning equipment, gas equipment, water heaters, a section of a pool. Every roof you can imagine and roof type, whether they be slate or shingle or barrel or concrete or clay. So what's cool is the students will actually have a hands-on also. See it, touch it, smell it, feel it. And that's something that there's only 2 House of Horrors in the country. We're just lucky enough to have one here.
Wow.
So we can provide you some hands-on also.
That is impressive. That's
yeah,
awesome.
It's just 1 day.
Well, that's not too surprising though to hear that. And it also isn't surprising to hear that like other exam companies, exam prep companies other than one exam prep they're just sort of selling like a cookie cutter pre-developed course over and over again and cranking that out. Because I know one exam prep believes in live instruction as a way more effective way to serve their students. I was a one exam prep student, so I used one exam prep for every test I took for my contractors exams and licenses. And so I'm a big fan of one exam prep. And I've heard all kinds of stories about other exam companies or exam prep companies that it's just sort of like, here's this course, you
Yeah.
know, take it at your leisure, take it at your convenience. Good luck. All right. But
Yeah.
one exam prep, they don't do it that way, right? They have live instruction, and you get to ask questions to someone in real time, you know, so you don't get lost and you can keep up and stay on pace to do it in a reasonable amount of time. Like you were just saying that, you know, people came to you and said, for 10 months, I've been studying and I
Yeah.
quit. I give up. It's not worth it. Right. I'll go do something else. I
Mhm.
guess being a home inspector is just not in the cards because I've been studying for 10 months and I'm no closer to passing this test than I was before I started. And that's tragic. You know, that's horrible to invest that kind of time into studying for something and still not, you know how to don't understand the material or navigate the book well enough to pass the exam. But I know it happens. And so, yeah, that live instructor course that one exam prep is like known for is huge. That's huge. And I guess for anybody listening that doesn't really recognize that, you know, maybe you haven't taken courses from other companies. I mean, the one exam prep has done it right. They have sort of cracked the code, I think, on preparing people in a reasonable amount of time, right? It's not a 10-month course we're talking about. You're not studying for this thing for a full year. What you're saying, Jeff, is 4 weekends,
4 weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
full
Now we'll
weekends,
try
though.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's from 8 in the morning until 6 in the evening, and it's engaging. I'm going to be asking questions. I am going to be involving people, and with that being said, I just want to make sure that all the students are confident so that they have an understanding and are able to look at the test questions and bring it all together.
Mm. Right.
Instead of just saying, this is an electrical panel and this is what a double tap is. And I'm explaining everything. My background, as you said before, is pretty much all of construction, mostly mechanical. But with that being said, I'm taking you on that realistic journey that I've already been on myself. And I'm showing you the ins and I'm showing you the outs. And it's all in the Zoom format. It's all in the Zoom format, which is no different than a classroom. It's no
Right.
different than being
Right.
in the classroom.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's exactly like being in a classroom. It really is, because I've taken classes in Zoom format, and it's just like being in a classroom. And to have a qualified instructor that can explain the ins and the outs. You know, it's one thing to sit through a course. It's another thing to have an instructor that can give some depth to the topics because it really makes it easier to remember. It
It
makes it
does.
not the I guess, but like you said, it's an open book exam, so there's not an expectation that you're going to need to memorize 120 hours worth of
No.
facts and information. So I'm assuming there'll be some guidance on where the content is located in the book
Mhm.
and navigating through the book. And I'm assuming there is a book, right?
Yeah,
So
you're
is
going
it,
to
is it
have two
one book?
books.
Two
You're going
books.
to have
Okay.
two
Okay.
books.
Two books.
One book is going to be about this thick. It's the Encyclopedia of Home Inspection. And then what has happened is we've teamed up with ACICP, who will administer the test. And ACICP has created, they're just the test givers. And what they've done is they've taken that thick book, that Dearborn book, condensed it down to a book about that thin. And though what you're going to be outlining things in that book, we're going to be bringing together processes, understanding processes, key questions. And that little book, that's
Mhm.
what you're taking into the exam. And everything is in that little book.
So you have a cliff notes of the encyclopedia
Yeah.
that is more or less everything that you need to access in order to pass the exam?
Yes. Yep.
That's
ACICP
awesome.
went and did this. It's awesome. And like I said, I've seen so many times before people having difficulty with the home inspection courses because they're long, they're tedious. Like I said, they could be in correspondence. No, when you're done with the 120 hours,
Mhm.
I'm giving you a test. I'm actually going to give you two tests. I'm going to give you a midway test, and you're going to say, I don't know everything. And I'm going to say, but you should start reading and studying. It's just a small book.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to give you an end of course test. You have to pass the end of course test, which is 100 questions and 2 hours long, just like the state test.
Okay, that was yep, I
Yeah.
had that question. Okay,
And
100
yeah,
questions, 2
so
hours.
at the end, you're going to take this test with us, of which you will pass. Believe it, you will pass. And then boom, you'll get your certificate, and you can go to ACICP and go to their website, schedule the exam, and you can do it right online. It's a timed exam.
Oh, so you could do it from just sitting at your house.
Yes.
You don't have
You
to you
don't
don't have
have
to
to.
go
You don't
anywhere?
have to go to Pearson View. You don't have to go anywhere. You're doing it right at home.
Got it. None of those proctored exam facilities. Okay,
Oh yeah.
cool. So you
They
just do it right
proctor it.
from
They
home.
have their AI to do it, but you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
Uh,
Right, sure.
the passing rate is just tremendous.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's aw that is more than what a lot of people can say about the contractors exams, right? Their passing rate on the first attempt is rough. So the home inspector exam passing rate after a course like this is tremendous. So it's almost like this is just a great opportunity for anyone that wants to have an kind of a foot in the door in construction, just to be involved in it, because there's so much opportunity in construction. How physical of a job is being a home inspector?
You know, I get that question all the time. When some people say, I'm not getting on a roof. Maybe they're not steady. Who knows? Do you
Right.
know you don't have to get on a roof to be a home inspector? Do you know you don't have to get in the attic?
How does
Yeah,
that work?
actually, yeah, the rules are that if you feel it's a sense of danger,
Hmm.
you can make inspections from the side, put your ladder up. You know, I'm teaching you. Let's just say, Michael, you and I have been on dozens of roofs. We're to the point that we can put our ladder to the edge of the roof
Hmm.
just from experience and start seeing the problem areas
That's true.
where that's all the home inspector has to do too. If he or she doesn't feel safe, they don't have to get on the roof. But yeah, I
Got
get
it. I
on
mean, yeah,
roofs
you got
all the time.
old slippery shingles and stuff where
Oh my
the
God.
granules are just falling off under your feet. I mean, yeah, you never want to walk on stuff like that. So it's perfectly fine, huh? You don't have to get on the roof or
No, or up into the attics. Now, do I do it? Yes, because I'm interested in the inspection. I'm nosy by nature, so I want to know everything. I want to understand it. I want to go into the attic. I want to see that the trusses haven't been altered. I want to see how the air conditioning ductwork is running. I want to see if it's leaking. The ductwork is leaking. I want to see the insulation. I want to understand the insulation. I want to put it all together. I want to give that homeowner a total picture. A total picture. And you know how I'm doing it, Michael?
how's that?
On my phone.
on your phone. And
The whole inspection report is on your phone.
oh man, that's convenient. So I suppose, I mean, I mean, you don't necessarily have to go into the attic. You're looking for certain things done correctly and trying to identify certain things done incorrectly. And I mean, phones have a pretty good zoom on them these days.
Oh
If you're
yeah.
taking pictures, I mean, so you could see pretty far away if you have a nice bright flashlight
Mhm.
and your phone zooming in. Yeah, I mean,
You
I guess
see
you could.
everything you need. You see everything you need. Some people. I also have a little Android pad with an OtterBox on it that goes around my neck,
Oh
so
wow.
I can, because literally the program for writing these inspections have pull down menus. They have everything. So literally, and you can add if you want. So literally, let's just say I'm looking at your windows, Michael,
Mhm.
and I see that you have new hurricane windows. I'm checking to see if they're installed correctly. I'm going into public records and making sure that there's a permit pulled for them.
Oh.
As the home inspector,
Mhm.
I'm not walking by a new air conditioner and saying, "Oh, that's a new air conditioner. Good news." No, I'm looking at that air conditioner. I'm seeing the date. I'm going into public records and making sure there's a permit for it. Your
Got it.
fencing, your roof. Yeah, there's more to home inspection than just going out there and seeing what's there. And the beauty of it is almost every house we can find online at one point or another. I'll teach you how to find flipped homes. I'll teach you how to find the details that people get around on flipped homes for real estate investment.
Wow.
We're going to go through a lot of different things. It's a lot of fun. It is a
Wow.
lot of fun.
And that's the job of the home inspector is
It is.
to know what to look for as far as, the physical inspection of the home, but also to know how to find all this information on public record
Mhm.
to be able to, thoroughly do the job and spot identify red flags and things like that that people should be concerned
Before I'm
with.
even out there, I know what the red flags are. I'm
Oh,
looking at satellite views. I'm looking at other houses on the block. I'm looking at everything. I'm taking it all in.
so, and in that regard that, yeah, the buyer that you're looking out for, I mean, they're really getting their money's worth.
They are. They are. And it's a great, as you were saying before, if you want to go further into the construction industry, it's very easy going from home inspector. You can go, it's sort of sad, but the situation with building inspectors has gotten so sparse, as you know, and
Mhm.
limited knowledge with the inspectors and so forth. I have several home inspectors that have gone for the next step in taking the state exams to become building inspectors.
And from what it sounds like, when you were describing that book, this encyclopedia of home inspections, I was thinking, man, that is probably a good. It seems like anyone that lives in a house
Yeah,
that owns the house would want that book. To be
they
honest,
do.
you know.
They do. You become
So
everybody's best friend once you get your home inspector's license.
I'm sure. And yeah, and you're right. There does seem to be a shortage of knowledgeable and qualified building inspectors. That's not to
We're not
not
knocking it;
slam.
it's just the way it is.
Correct. Yes. I mean, I've had to pull out the code book a few times and show the inspector why what we did was okay or whatever, right? And so and that's no problem really. I don't mind doing that, but you just sort of you do have this expectation that they're going to just know their stuff and they may not, which is always kind of surprising. when that happens. But yeah, I imagine going through going through a 120-hour class and, having knowledge of the encyclopedia of home inspections would be just a natural segue into being a building inspector. Can you be a home inspector and a building inspector for the state or the county at the same time?
Yeah, yeah. Well, one is a public job, one is a private job.
So you can
So
moonlight as a building inspector, or you could
you
be a
can
building
moonlight as a
inspector
home
and
inspector.
moonlight as a home inspector.
Yeah, there's plenty. I have general contractors. I have, gosh, so many different trades that have gotten their home inspector's license because they're just tired of of construction.
They're tired of being the contractor or
Hmm.
the worker or the project man or whatever. They're just tired of it, and so then they just
Yeah.
go yeah, I could see that. That was always how I viewed it. Right, is like, man, they're in construction, but they're not doing what I'm doing in construction. But I bet they're making great money because I know what I'm spending for this thing, for this inspection. And yeah, that is really cool. That being a home inspector, it almost like bumps you up on the qualification list to be a building inspector. So if you were looking for that sort of, I know a lot of people seek out at certain times in their life, maybe that, like a government job, that would be a pretty advanced qualification to become a building inspector.
Yeah, it's a process. It's a process. But with the home inspectors, you know, I'll give you an example. I do construction inspections as a home inspector. Oh yeah. I'm not, as a home inspector, we're just not there at the house that existing. There's applications where the house you could be having a house built and you hire an independent home inspector to make sure everything is done correctly.
Gotcha. So you
Yeah,
as
the
the
pre-sheet rock, the seeing plumbing vents going through trusses. I mean, all
all
of
that.
these things you see.
So almost like in between the periodic building inspections that you're having done as per code, you're having a home inspector go in, which is probably it's not just code, it's like it's almost more than code, right? It's you can hire someone that really knows what they're looking at to make
Right.
sure that everything is above the minimum standards.
Well, yeah, and let's remember that word, minimum standards, because the Florida Building Code is a minimum
It's a
standard.
minimum standard,
It's a
right?
minimum standard. At best,
Mhm.
the Florida Building Code is a C. It's a C. It's a grade of a C at best.
Right, right. Yeah,
The
there you
home
go.
inspector and the architects and the engineers are responsible along with the owner to make that building better.
Right, right. If you wanted a B grade or an A
Yeah,
grade building,
exactly.
that
The
is
home inspector is making sure, especially during the construction process, that everything is done correctly. So, yeah, the home inspector, though they don't enforce the code, the home inspector knows the code
they can
probably
spot
better than a lot of the building inspectors do.
it. I sadly, I don't think there's anyone that could argue
Yeah.
with that statement. And that's all I guess I'm going to say about that. There are some phenomenal building inspectors out there. Don't get me
Great.
wrong. But it's like it seems like once in a while somebody slips through the cracks that maybe should have been a home inspector first. Is all
Yeah.
I'll say. So yeah, I could see that. Yeah, the benefits of a home inspector coming out because not only are they going to identify that minimum standard is being met, but if they're aware that they're supposed to be above the minimum standard, then yeah, I can imagine a ton of benefit there. And I mean, does that happen a lot? Is there a lot of home inspectors that inspect construction?
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It's very common now. It's very, very, very common now. Do the developers or the GCs like it? Some of them don't. Some of them don't. But they have a right to be there. They're hired by the buyer to protect their investment. They might even be hired by the underwriter. You're not just working for, I'm not just working for Michael who needs a home inspection. I'm working for insurance companies. I'm working for, in some cases, general contracting companies that build multiple houses. Oh, yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of opportunity.
That's
There's
right.
a lot of opportunity in
I think
home
I've seen some social media channels from home inspectors, and it seems like that's all they do is they're just going around these new developments, and before the homes are finished, this inspector is inspecting 5 and 10 of these homes that and sometimes the builders really don't like them at all, for obvious reasons for that builder if they're catching them doing a bunch of cutting corners and things like that. But it seems like so. I mean, the home inspection as a career in itself has its own individual niche markets, right?
It
Like
does.
you specialize with dealing with insurance companies, or you specialize only in dealing with like federally backed mortgage companies, stuff like that. So
Yeah,
you could
there's
just
so many avenues you can
carve
take
out whatever
this.
you want, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's so
your
many.
piece of the pie. Wow.
Everybody has to have a home inspection, and
It's
we are
true.
such, the state. I know down here in Southeast Florida, we're going vertical. There's no more land. We
Correct.
do the inspections on these condos. Now you're not doing any commercial buildings. It's only residential dwellings that you're doing.
Plenty of
And
them.
and it doesn't stop.
Right.
It
I mean, there's
doesn't stop.
more residential than there are commercial
Mm-hmm.
anyways.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't stop.
yeah, no, and the more people that move here, and the more people keep having babies. I mean, it's never going to stop. No, it's never ever going to stop. Wow. So, man, that is I mean, so you might see me in class, Jeff.
Oh man, I hope so. It's funny. I've had other instructors or friends. I was sitting in a teaching. I walked into a class, and they're sitting in the front of the class. This was several months ago. Was a face I haven't seen in 30 years. My old business partner, that's the general contractor that decided to take it easy, and he wanted his home inspection license. So
Nice.
even then, yeah, I mean,
Isn't that funny? Like that's the GC's idea of taking it easy.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll
the
just go have this
DC's
whole
idea
other
of taking it
career as
easy.
a home inspector and just
I'm going to
take it
make
easy.
$1,200 a day doing home inspections,
Yeah, just
working
taking it easy.
4 hours a day, working
Yeah,
4 hours a day.
that's awesome. What a career path that is.
It is, and it's what you make of it too. And I'll walk you through that also, because I'm not setting you up. I want you to pass. You're going to pass the exam.
Nice.
All right, you're going to pass the exam. Usually, I find the ones that don't, it was just really a responsibility thing. But you're going to pass that exam, and we're going to help you understand what it takes to be successful as a home inspector. I'm not just going to send you out there saying,
yeah,
that's what this means. I'm going to
got
send
it.
you out there.
So you're not just passing the exam, you're going to pass the exam, and you're going to have some practical knowledge
You are
to go out and do a great job
sure.
from the beginning.
I have videos and pictures and everything to share with everybody.
Gotcha.
Not to mention the House of Horrors is an added bonus.
Anybody that's able to get there, I mean that's definitely worth traveling, especially if you're someone who has not had a lifetime in construction, but you're wanting to get into this. I would imagine that is kind of a priceless opportunity.
It is. It's a great opportunity,
Yeah, to go see the
especially
House of
in today's
Horrors.
day and market.
I mean, I've got a couple of decades in construction, and I want to see the House of Horrors. You know, I want to see, because I don't think I could walk in and just do a home inspection without, you know, some coaching on that. So yeah, I'd like to see the House of Horrors myself. It'd probably help me in my contracting business too.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, how did what does what does someone do, right? So let's say, you know, I'm interested in being a home inspector. Now what?
Well, now what? I would get a hold of one exam prep. All
Okay, so
right, we'll throw the number up there.
there it is.
There you go. I would get a hold of one exam prep and let them know that you'd be interested in getting your home inspector's license. And you know what? If you have any questions or any concerns, they'll put you right in touch with me and I'll answer them directly. But that's what they need to do. They need to have a good internet connection. You need to designate some time. Now, understand there is no escape of this. It isn't, you know, this is a monitored class. So you do have to attend it. I have to see you. I will be addressing you. This is not one of those things where you can go do something
sit
else
with your
and
camera
it's just gonna
off.
follow along.
I see. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, get a hold of one exam prep.
Mhm.
They'll walk you through the sign up process and we'll get you started. You know, they're starting in December. They're
Oh,
starting
coming up.
classes in December.
That's great. So you got
Yeah.
a few weeks to prepare.
Mhm.
To like to you know, if you need to like start, if you need to schedule Fridays off, and clear your weekends, then you got time to do that because these classes are starting in December, you said.
Yeah, they're starting in mid-December. There'll be 2 weekends, and then we'll stop for holiday break, and we'll pick back up in January. When that's done in January, we're going to roll into another set of classes. So this is going to continue rolling.
I
All
see. So
right.
month
This is
after
going to
month.
continue rolling.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
And so does it matter when someone signs up? Do they have to wait for the beginning of the month, or can they join midway?
No, it
And
does have to be from beginning to end.
okay,
Yeah.
got it. Got it. So
Now I've had students that have circumstances come up and they've done like the first 2 weeks and missed the second 2 weeks, and arrangements have been made for them to do the second 2 weeks is a little later, but they won't get their certificate of completion until they've done the 120 hours. And there's a little bit of a fudge factor in there. There's some time that they allow you to miss. I mean, things happen in life. But with that being said, yeah, we want you from the beginning to the end for 4 weeks.
right, right. So I guess the state sort of trusts the instructor to determine the fudge factor, right? So you do your best to be there, and then of course, you know, uh, it's just circumstances, right? You know, but as
Life
long as you're
happens.
right, there you go. So, but you complete the course, you do well, you complete the practice exams, and then you can go and pass the real exam, and you're good to go. Nice.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much for
Yeah.
dedicating the time today, Jeff. And as I understand it, you've been pretty instrumental in actually developing this course. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, I've
So you're the
been
guy,
involved in the development and so forth, so that we can get approved with the state of Florida. It's
and you're
not
the
something
instructor.
new. It's something, you know. The program is not new. The program is an existing program that uh, we're forming to be Florida specific.
Got it. Got
Yeah,
it. Well,
it's a lot different state of Florida than the rest of the country. Yeah,
isn't it always?
yeah.
As is the way in Florida, right? Like, I think everybody uses, like, for commercial, they use the IBC, International Building Code, and for
Mhm.
residential, they use the IRC, International Residential Code. But in Florida, it's the FBC, which is the Florida Building Code, right? So it's
Right,
totally
which is the
different book.
ICC, the International Code Council.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So different book than the rest of the than the rest of the country. So why wouldn't the rules for home inspectors be different? Just makes sense, right? Just falls in
Yeah.
line with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Florida's funny, but it's the hurricanes, right? I mean, we joke, but we all know that's what it is. Those things are absolutely destructive, right? Like this one that just happened in Jamaica. I
Jamaica.
guess we're dating
Yeah.
this video now, right? The one that
Yeah.
what was it, Melissa, that just went through there. Whew, crazy.
Oh yeah,
So
I've seen. We went through Andrew down here, and I'm still inspecting homes and seeing homes now that haven't been corrected since Andrew.
from Hurricane Andrew,
Back
goodness,
in '92, I go up
in the
into the attic.
90s, the early 90s.
92, and I go up into the attics and I see split trusses and I see all kinds of
Wow.
stuff. Oh yeah,
Wow. From Andrew. That
from
is
Andrew.
unbelievable. Goodness, great. Oh, more than a couple of decades now. Wow. What was that?
Yeah, dude.
That's like 30, 33
'92,
years now. Good
1992.
gracious. Wow. That's something. Well, anyways, Jeff, thank you so much for your time and for being here and for sharing this and for helping to develop this course and for explaining, what an opportunity this is. I know there's so many people that are, just wondering right now, what am I doing with my life? What's a career path, or how can I make some extra money, or just full time or part time? And this just solves the issue. It
It
just solves
is.
the problem.
It
And you
is.
don't,
It does.
yeah, you don't have to be some like construction guru, and you don't have to be some super strong person that's going to be crawling around in attics and running up on roofs and crawling under houses. You can do it without all that. So that's all. This sounds like just an outstanding opportunity for anybody. So, yep, oneexamprep.com is the website. And then the phone number's there, 1-877-775-9400. And what do? They just look for the home inspection course or ask for the home inspection
Yeah,
course?
just ask for the home
Okay.
inspection course. Something will be up on our website if it's not already. I know the marketing is going up.
Okay.
And with that being said, they can get signed up and enjoy the classes, and that's what they'll do. This is
That's
not going
terrific.
to be reading a PowerPoint.
Uh,
No, we're going to be enjoying our classes. We're going to be learning. I'm going to be telling you what to underline in the book, what are possible test questions. I'll be going through all of those processes
Oh,
with
I see. It's going to be
everybody.
like hey, you might have this on your exam. Wink, wink, like
Wink,
that.
wink.
Yeah, you might see this question again. Wink, wink. Got it.
Oh
That's
yeah.
good. There you go. Another advantage to having a live instructor class right there. So,
Right.
well, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for your time. And yeah, for anybody that has watched this video or is listening to this, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, help us out, help the channel. If there's any content that you want to see or any questions that you have, just leave a comment, send us a message, let us know at Next Level Contractor, and we'll do our best to to get your questions answered or create whatever content you want to see. So help us out again with a like, a subscribe, a share. And Jeff, thank you so much for being here with us today and all the time. And we hope to see you again.
Oh, you will. Thanks, Michael.
See you later.
See you later now. Bye-bye.